Okay, now this is real. So my wife and I went to go see the Twisters movie yesterday, and someone gets up and starts leaving coughing. Like, okay, that's totally normal. So we were in the back row. They were in the back row of the front section, so pretty far down from us. And then 2 and 3 people get up, leaving coughing. Like, okay, they seemed like a family, like they were all in the same area. And then more people just get up and start. So I'm looking around, and people around me are completely oblivious to what's happening, totally enamored with the movie. So people start evacuating one row at a time. Yeah, all real. And apparently, someone's pepper spray went off during the movie. Now, was it intentional? We don't know. Was it punctured? Maybe that's probably the real reason, because in order for it to discharge as much as it did, it would have had to be held, like the button would have had to be held down consistently to discharge the whole can. So if it was unintentional, it was punctured. If it was intentional, well, we don't have any information at this time. So we all had to get up, and now mind you, picture your standard movie theater, the front section on the floor, back row. We were in the back row at the top, because that's just kind of where we like to sit. But we were coughing back there, and we're all trying to evacuate, and there's a little old lady in front of me. Each time I step, I'm bumping into her. I'm trying not to panic, but I'm thinking, okay, this woman, because we don't know what it is at this point. We're in the back, people are coughing, running out of the theater, and we start coughing, and we're, I don't know, 20 yards away. I don't know what the distance would have been, but it's far, pretty far enough to where you think pepper spray wouldn't get to you. But we're in an enclosed area, and once all that stuff releases, it's tough. So had this poor guy, if you see the drinking fountain over here, had this poor guy with his shirt off. He must have been right there, and he's just pouring water into his eyes. There was one person evacuated, and the ambulance came. There was a couple of regular mall security guards, but then it was cops, firefighters. Everyone was in there because nobody knew what it was until they investigated it. And my wife and I were standing over by this Deadpool Wolverine sign, and we asked the cops a couple times, like, hey, do you need us to stick around for questioning? Like, we really want to get out of here, because we don't want to we had nothing to do with it. We don't want to stand here. We don't need any medical attention. And nobody said anything. So eventually we just walked out these ropes here and left. So the news must have showed up quite a bit later, because we stuck around for probably a half hour. And it was maybe 30 minutes into the movie. It was only the first time that the main female had tried to disparage Glenn Powell, which I'm sure happens infinitely in this movie, because that's the world in which we live. So there's a good-looking white character. Got to try and chop him down. But yeah, all real. This happened yesterday. We were trying to. My wife had the day off, and I work nights, so we're trying to see the movie, and I guess we'll never know how it ends. But yeah, everyone's okay. The poor woman who was closest to it, her feet were literally orange because of how much pepper spray was on her. So, and people kept giving these people water, and I was trying to tell them, but medical personnel were there. Water is not going to help with pepper. It's just not. You gotta. The concession stand at ice cream, the dude should have rubbed it in his eyes, to be fair, but nobody wanted to listen. Anyways, yeah, I just thought that was an interesting thing that happened yesterday. And yeah, this isn't just me. I was actually just combing through the news to see if I could find it. But yeah, this happened to us yesterday, and I was nervous that it was some sort of, 'cause we don't live in exactly a great area. So and all the hysteria and stuff after the attempted assassination on the president, all sorts of stuff was going through my head. And I was telling my wife this, because she's a lover. She She loves to enjoy the things in the world, and my brain doesn't allow me to. I'm always thinking, always like, oh, what about this, and this? Every time I sit in a movie theater, I watch people who come in. Like, okay, because if you guys remember the Batman thing that happened, 10 years ago at this point, the shooting at the Batman theater, like, okay, I don't care. You can't carry a gun in New York. I mean, you can, but there's like, you got to sell your left testicle. But you can't concealed carry, really. So I'm just like, it's kind of like Mac from, this just popped in my head. Mac from Always Sunny. Ocular pat downs on everyone who come in, just in case. Got to see where everyone's sitting, just in case someone starts to wig out. Have some kind of idea of what to do. But I guess that's why my wife married me, because I'm the psycho that thinks about these kinds of things, and she can enjoy stuff while I slowly wither into a but yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Has anything happened to you guys out there like this? Anything remotely similar? This is probably a very rare thing, but yeah, Destiny USA, whole thing cleared out. And it was funny because the people coming in, going to the next showing or whatever was playing up here, they're all staring and like, what are you gonna do? But I'll be curious to see if anything comes out of this. So they think incident happened during a 12:30 p.m. showing of Twisters, which is a lie. It was a 12 p.m. showing. Get your facts straight. What is this? Syracuse.com? Get your shit together, all right? It was a noon showing. Come on. I guess to be fair, the movie probably started at 12:30 after all the goddamn previews. But pepper exposure, eye irritation. Yeah, that poor bastard who was outside the drinking fountain. He was there with his shirt off, kind of a heavier set guy, but he was just there for 10 straight minutes running water into his eyes. And one of the people, I get that it was like one of his family members or somebody, brings him a bottle of water. The guy's got his face in an unlimited supply of water. Sorry. That's too funny. I didn't even think about that, but they set a bottle of water up on top of the fountain. He's got water right there. And there's a bathroom right in there. There you see the bathrooms right there. So even if there wasn't a water fountain, he could have walked in the bathroom and just, I don't know, stuck his head in the toilet or whatever. Somebody brought him a full bottle of water. Yeah. So, okay, here we go. So the canister exploded. So somebody was carrying that and it popped, but it did. So the word explosion doesn't fully tell the story because it didn't explode. At one point you hear a loud like a hissing, and I thought it was just part of the movie because stuff's going on the screen. It was a pretty good movie to start with, and there were tornadoes, so you're like, okay, what's that? I don't know. And yeah, so apparently there was some sort of puncture and a leak, and yeah, it was pretty brutal. This is the woman whose shoes, and I think she's got burns right there because of how long the pepper spray was on her. But that's the woman, or maybe that's a family member, and she was just in there. But it was that group of people. But yeah, it was pretty wild. Let me know what you think down below. I'll probably put this in with my Providence and Verity discussions, but yeah, this was pretty weird yesterday, so I don't know exactly if I'll go back and see the movie, but if I do, it'll be at the other movie theater we have called Movie Tavern, so yeah, we'll see from there. But thanks for listening. Let me know what you think down below, and we'll catch you guys later.